again say thank you to everyone for coming, and I'm going to turn the microphone over to Lord Don. And thank you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yay. Well, it's 2 o'clock and time to get started with our opening remarks.
Someplace.
I believe it's 2 o'clock on the West Coast, but that's an irrelevancy. I want to thank everyone for coming. We're very happy to have everyone here. It's going to be a wonderful weekend. We have lots of fun things planned. Many more people, I believe, are arriving later tonight or tomorrow, because for many people today was the day they had to work. We have some wonderful guests. We have lots of ritual coming. We have some interesting workshops, and we have a plethora of wonderful foodstuffs, as well as dogs. We have dogs.
Yay! Always a good day for dogs.
So, let's hear it for the dogs. So this is the 16th annual Lustration of the Ancestors. The first public lustration was held at Pure Sanctuary Temple in Danville, Illinois, 16 years ago. And next year, lustration will be returning to Pure Sanctuary Temple. So next year we'll be meeting in Danville. It will be my 40th year as first priest of tradition. And it will also be, I believe, the 20th anniversary of Pure Sanctuary Temple. So it will be a very good year. We will be having lustration in New Orleans the following year. We're planning ahead. And we want to introduce and thank our special guests, Her Eminence the Archpriestess Belladonna Laveau of and Reverend Dusty Dion, and Honey Bear, the official puppy of the aquarium. What year is this? 13 years ago, we had the pleasure of having as our special guest at lustration the beloved Pete Pathfinder Davis, the founder of the Aquarian Tabernacle Church. And so we're very pleased to have the leadership of the Aquarian Tabernacle join us again for lustration.
We're honored.
13 years later.
Good number. Thank you.
It's interesting how this numerology thing works out, because it was not planned. You see it happen quite a lot. I want to make a couple of small announcements. The first one is that we're going to be offering a new award recognizing excellence in media, which will be called the Obsidian Mirror. It will go along with our other awards that we do at lustration. This lustration will mark the first time we're giving that award, but as you know, we're emphasizing media more and more, speaking of which. Over here we have Reverend Sir Elizabeth. Together with Emerald and a number of other people. She'll be doing video and media throughout the weekend. Do not be afraid of Elizabeth, she's harmless. But we'll have a camera that she will stick in your face.
I'll try not to hit you with it.
And as you know, the reason we do this is so that people who cannot physically attend can still feel that they are here with us. And we're hoping to do live casting from the event, but we're finding the internet connection is not allowing a lot of that. So we may try at the hotel a little bit, we may try at some other locations, or we'll have video on Magic TV. But we are trying to make sure that we extend the event to as many people as want to be here, including those who cannot physically be here. And our next person, I would like to ask Miranda Favro, Reverend Miranda Favro, to come forward and bring her goodies with her. This is Order of Artificers has been commissioned to create regalia for the Archpriesthood and Elders, which she is going to present to those who are present at this time.
This is for the elders. The elders have a gray ribbon.
Ooh, pretty. Hold on, let me get a zoom in on that.
It's a duplicate of the symbol.
Yes.
The symbol that Lord Don had showed me a picture of. He says, "Can you create this?" I said, "I can do my best." So I wire wrapped it, and it still has the silver star pointed upright and the gold star that is facing down. It's a look. Once I told you that, you're like, "Okay, I see it," because otherwise you're like, "What is it?" So this is the elder, and then the Archpriesthood will have one that's in blue.
Oh, yay!
Beautiful.
Very good. Thank you, Meranda.
Yay.
And to our various Archpriesthood and Elders who are here, we will get those to you before you need them, which will be tomorrow. All those layers. And of course, we want to thank Reverend Laurie for hosting the event. All of the members of Lady of Light who have worked hard to put it on, and the various moose as well. Moose, I like a moose. And we want to once again introduce Mabel Jean. The official baby of Lustration.
Since last year.
Say hi. Over here, Mabel. Over here.
For anyone who does not know the story, 2 years ago, I drafted Lady Alyssa into hosting a Lustration. She was kind enough to go along with us.
True story.
Then,
Very
she
true.
became pregnant, and the due date was Lustration.
Also true.
Yeah, true. But first, Lady Crystal had read for her and predicted this.
Yeah.
And
She
it
did.
came
The
to
year that
pass.
I volunteered for Lustration, she predicted you will have one very close to or at Lustration.
So she lived in fear for several months that Lustration.
Well, then I consulted Lady Crystal and said, "So what date can I put Lustration and have the least chance of going into labor?" And she said April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, by the way, for anybody that doesn't think Lady Crystal has a sense of humor. And she was right. She was right.
Because what, 21 days later?
So little Mabel is the
20
official
days
baby of Lustration in many ways.
So I don't know if everybody knows this, but Lady Wendy had this little thing going on, trying to make the baby come at Lustration.
Everybody knows that.
we were praying. I was right there with her. We were making that baby kid, didn't we?
And so the last announcement I will have, we have Sir Mike Neal, Reverend Sir Mike Neal, who does our auction. I'm afraid of feedback. But as you can see, if you look behind you, the auction table is set up. And if you're interested in items, you can talk to Sir Mike, and he will take care of this.
Yes.
With great gusto and aplomb. And so with that, I want to thank everyone for being here. And I will hand the talking stick to Lady Steph. Oh,
No,
wait,
yeah.
but wait, there's more.
Uh-oh. Do I need to pan wide for this?
Don't expect to be sitting for long.
So you think a lot of us can't keep secrets?
Well, let's see. Hi, everyone. As a
I'll remember this
spectacle
because
of
it's useful
myself.
to know.
Don't worry, it's not on camera.
Until you find out that someone spilled.
Oh, yeah.
Can you get her in the camera?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I probably don't need the microphone. Can you all hear me? Oh, great. Now I'm going to really blow your ears out. Thank you. hope it's either upside down or not. We're about to find out.
What kind of dance?
I have no idea.
I'm very young. There you go. Perfect. So, I am not done my second degree as a whole, but I finished my second degree project. I picked something very creative. So, last year at Lustration, it was my first illustration, and I was forewarned that you will get a job. Lord Dawn assigned me a job. Hooray! So,
Does he remember what that job was?
I'm about to say.
Does he remember?
Yes, I had to sort of figure out how to make the Witten collar out of brass. So, I made something very special. It's sort of a prototype before going to the big deal. So I wanted to reveal this to Lord Dawn as a gift. I made it all by hand.
Wow. Tilt it down a little bit more. I mean, like, tilt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Hold on
you.
a
I wanted
second.
to present that as a gift. It's gorgeous.
Wow. That is fantastic. Awesome.
That's beautiful.
So now that we know.
And now I'll pass the microphone to Lady Steph.
By the way, another artificer. Head of the household.
The honored ones that sits among us, and the rest of the honored ones that sits among us. Today, the human race is standing on the precipice of time. You see, there are holy precepts that each and every one of you have conveyed to the human race, some knowingly and some unknowingly. One such precept is by focusing on who we are, opens our perceptions to our ever-present full connection to deity, each other, and the great work. Worldwide, humans are earnestly trying to find a closer connection to deity through many conditions, like darkness. Conditions of lack and oppression, hunting for answers that can release them from strident doctrines or self-doubt. Within these limiting conditions, every new day brings hope, divine love, light, and connection, because each one of you is the connection. Each one of you is the hope. Each one of you is the light. And each one of you is the answer and the destination. Each one of you is the promise. So fully embrace who you are. You see, a partnership was formed before time. All living things collectively forming the universe, all carefully forming you for millions and millions of years. This is why you are filled with glory, created to be the path to be the next cosmic leap, to be the process evolving to the next stage, seeing where we already are and have already done. Be aware some groups, governments, and doctrines utilize a single tool to control and limit perception so that many individuals remain waiting on the launch pad of their own life. Thus, many designing all their belief systems around incomplete self-perceptions. See, this reality and is, well, reality changer is fear. Fear physically narrows the prefrontal cortex of our brain. So there's a physical reaction that happens where connection to the fullness of reality diminishes and reasoning becomes incomplete. As humans, a human cannot live under fear for long spans of time, as this will only shut them down even further. As where if you are about to be hit by a car, or you've received bad information regarding your health or a loved one's health, well then of course that fear in the moment is natural. However, this type of fear usually causes one to wake up, not to fall asleep. The prefrontal cortex of the brain is where the dysfunction causes such a wide array of mutations. This part of the brain not only is involved with motor function, this is where memory takes place, problem solving, spontaneity, language, initiation, impulse control, and social behavior, and most important, judgment takes place here. There is an integral link between a person's will to live, planning, complex cognitive behavior, decision-making, shrinks, where a person's perception of his worldview becomes narrow, where naturally it's this wide. When fear comes into the picture, and not being able to see from another's perspective. We change our lives by displacement, by replacing and refining a lighted gift, drowns and replaces the shadows. Both are needed, both we are aware of. You can't have a shadow without light. You can't have a light without shadow. Behind every shadow is light. So everyone in this space, which is everywhere, let us utilize one of our strongest vibrational tools to change the world, our voices. Our light-filled ancient voices. Speaking in unison, we say. Now, when I say each of these sentences and partial sentences, I would love you to repeat after me as meaningful as you can. Because we stand together in harmony.
Because we stand together in harmony.
We see your motives.
We see your motives.
Together, every day we say.
Together, every day we say.
We break the bonds of fear.
We break the bonds of fear.
Removing all its limitations.
Removing all its limitations.
Together we raise a universal bonfire.
Together we raise a universal bonfire.
Allowing this fire.
Allowing this fire.
To reach the four corners of the earth.
To reach the four corners of the earth.
We collect and transmute this fear.
We collect and transmute this fear.
Throwing fear warily,
throwing fear squarely
in the center of these golden flames,
in the center of these golden flames.
we forge
What
was meant for harm
was meant for harm
into a refined, perpetual, lighted lamp. This has always been our responsibility.
This has always been our responsibility.
To tear down what hinders open perception.
To tear down what hinders open perception.
As always.
We
We eternally raise our lighted lamp. Out of the creation fires. So mote it be.
So it is.
You see, I have expressed nothing new here to any of you. Every one of you have known these precepts from the beginning. This is why you are here now. This is why you were gloriously created for this great work. This is one reason why you are forever. At the end. Thank you. Now we're switching vibrations here. I'm not going to give much detail on the door system because as Reverend Lori will be,
And Bonnie did the slideshow for me.
Oh, thank you. Will be presenting the door system. It will be rolling out one by one so that there'll be more detail there. But we're just going to do a very quick brush over related to the doors. And then we'll have a little presentation designed by Reverend Moore and Bonnie. Yes, thank you. All right. So the first door is the purple door. And inside the purple door is where you learn to be a Correllian shaman and where you see many intensives that has been put together by Don and myself. And there's lots of very interesting information in those intensives that it's really worthwhile. We always try to make sure there's at least one course that's free. And like the Correllian shaman, you can take the training and it's free. It's just the initiation where you pay. And so you can take it and not go through the initiation and you're fine. But the Correllian shaman is basically based on your path and the way you think that each assignment should be completed. So we never give any directions because we are anxious to see how you're going to present and problem solve within that particular challenge. That's what we call them, challenges. So after you read the Cherokee myth, along with many other things, it's your creation that you form. Then the next door is the gold door. And by the way, the Correllian shaman and intensives, the purple door, has been open for several years now. So that's up and running. The next door is the Correllian shaman for our large Spanish-speaking community, and it's growing faster and faster each day. It's just amazing. And so that's, it was headed by our beautiful lady, Harway, but right now she's taking a break. But as if at this point, it is run by Reverend Newman Delos, a very talented young man. So it's basically the same approach except it's in Spanish. Then we have the Indigo door, and that's open too. The Indigo door will be open in a few months, and the whole purpose is using the Waite Rider Smith deck tarot deck, but not necessarily using it as that you can read from them, though you can. But the whole course is a 9-month course designed as a path to yourself. And it tells the story of the tarot, our system, and it's more about that you're learning about yourself through each card. All right, and that's headed by Sir Reverend Mike Neal. Then we have another door that is open. Now, most of these doors are already open. It's called Claiming Your Sacred Path, headed by Dr. Reverend John Anastasio. And this is where it's completely free. You sign up and you receive a link to his magnificent teachings. And he usually teaches in a format that is so friendly and conversational and has many guests on his show. So you're signing up for a perpetual teaching every week. And even though you think like, well, this was just a nice, friendly little conversation, but you leave the conversations going, wait a minute, that I can utilize that. I can apply that to my life. So Reverend Lord Anastasio really brings it to a place that you can say, I can do that. I can really do that, and I'm going to utilize that. So, Reverend Anastasio, Dr. Anastasio, hello. And that's open. The blue door is where you can learn how to be a paraprofessional counseling. It's a counseling training that will be taught by a professional in the field. And that's Lord Phoenix William. I want to say the whole name. He is a bona fide therapist. Has been in the profession for several years. So by the time you're finished with the training, you will be a paraprofessional in that training. So you notice that we have top-notch, educated in their field people for this particular phase of our education. So you see that we have different types of education. Witch school, where we get all of our clergy training, the doors, and then, as you know, we're working on the college. Then he also will train people to become chaplains. So if you're interested in becoming a chaplain, you belong to that door. Lord Phoenix is still in the process of just working out the tweaks, or you're pretty much ready to go?
I'm ready.
You're ready to go?
Ready.
Okay, so
the door is open.
The blue door is open. Then we have the turquoise door, which is the Sea Priestess path. And the Sea Priestess path is, I would say, it's almost like Dr. Anastasio's book. It's a path to deity and yourself, how to look at yourself, applying good precepts to help you see all your magnificence and how to apply it to everyday life. So, and that has been turned over to Reverend Aisha Beauchemin. Hope I said that correctly. Did I say? Aisha. Aisha. What? Beauchemin. Okay, so I completely slaughtered that. So Aisha, there's Aisha. That was just turned over to her this last year. Then we have the red door. That's open too. And this is headed by Reverend Ira Alsaret. And she teaches the Sea Priestess for the Spanish community across the globe. And that too is open. Woo! And as we all know, she's incredibly talented, like everyone. Yes. Woo! Then we have the gray door. That this is presently being worked on. And it's headed by Lord Tina Estrella de la Tarte. And if you want to be a priest or priest Priestess of Aphrodite. This is Aphrodite priesthood training. So, in fact, he's going to be teaching both Spanish and English.
Wow.
So there's that. Next is the white door. This is almost in completion, and it's our mediumship teachings, and this is headed by the spirits. Next is the black door, is the World Walkers training. This is open, and this is approximately a 3 to 4 year training because there's so much to learn and to practice. But essentially, if you are plugged in and go to the World Walkers Facebook group, go on Friday nights, the first and second Friday night, and our Pagans Tonight radio station. That is where the training is happening there. Right now, it is being approved by a publishing company, so I say within a year this will be in black and white, but for now all the training is in fact on the radio. And with that, I'm going to leave you with a quick slideshow and leave you with this challenge for this weekend. That allow one thing to fade away in your life this week, for this weekend. Allow one thing that you will hear, and there will be plenty of teachings, wonderful teachings, that you can take and utilize and walk away with one friend, hopefully everyone. Thank you.
finished my second degree project, but I have an issue with the printing. And in the process of trying to download some of it to send to Lady Lori, I deleted more than 95% of it. So I have to start over, but I was able to manage to save some of it. So, this is for you. Well, it will be when it's complete. For my second degree project, I created the Correllian Shaman Oracle deck. It is for affirmation for those that are non-Correllian Shaman. And it is not for replacing the stones, but to use with your stones on the medicine wheel. So, snake. I'll expand it so you can see it. And the back side. The front side represents the color of spirit of the quarter, and the back side is the spirit color. And it'll come with a pamphlet that tells you how to use it, what all the animals stand for, what their meanings are.
That's very nice of you.
Very nice.
And I put in the stone the stones with
I've got a
primal
teacher
energy.
with that save button is on the computer. She still isn't.
It was on a website. Shut up. It wasn't my fault. But
Very
yes.
cool.
So I was hoping to have it printed for you this week.
Wow,
I'm sorry.
I do. No problem.
And I have to say thank you to Lori for accepting it as was. Thank you.